Good morning, dear students. Welcome in social science class. Dear students, in yesterday's live class, we were discuss about the chapter Mughal Empire. Just wait, it's not clear. Yes, we have started the topic yesterday, the introduction part, the Babur, Humayun. Many students were not there. I'm just going to give a recapitulation of this. Humayun was the son of Babur. He just came into the throne in 1530 to 1540 CE and 1555 to 1556. Here in between, he just defeated by Sher Shah Suri at the Battle of Chausa in 1540, and then after he ran away towards Iran, and then 1555 again he just defeated the son of Sher Shah Suri, that was Sikandar Suri, and then again he just came into the throne of Delhi and again re-established the Mughal Empire in Delhi. So Humayun, although he was not that much competent because he was not getting the proper financial sources by his father and not support by his father like we have here. His real name was Nasiruddin Muhammad Humayun, the eldest son of Babur. He was faced many difficulties to retain the Mughal Empire in India. Babur had gifted separate provinces, the many areas, to his other three sons except Humayun, and the army combination also for the other three sons except Humayun. And ultimately, what happened? The Humayun had inherited an empty treasury, the lack of financial resources he was having, and he had to face many opposition from his brother and ultimately from the relatives from Afghans and Rajputs, and he was not that much skilled, not that much supported by other his brothers and other rulers, and later on he was multiplying his problems with many other follies also, because always he was keep in frustration, and his frustration turned into the many problems arose for himself, and ultimately he was addicted of drugs, opium, that is drugs, and he was lacking the military ability also, because after having such kind of bad practices, indulging in bad practices, he was not able to control his empire properly. His father had failed to lower the powers of Afghan for good, and Humayun was defeated by an Afghan, Sher Shah Suri. You might be have heard about this, the founder of GT Road or Grand Trunk Road. He defeated Humayun at the Battle of Chausa, Kannauj, and forced to leave India, take refuge in Iran in 1540. After 15 years, what happened? Humayun defeated Sikandar Suri, the son of Sher Shah Suri, who was a weak successor of Sher Shah Suri, and restored the Mughal Empire in India once again. Unfortunately, he died after slipping from the steps of his library. It was not a proper reason for his death, but we have got this reason that we can continue with this. He just slipped from the steps of his library building at Delhi and just got died. Do you know Sher Shah? He was an Afghan. This time period, he defeated Humayun at 1540 to 45, and he has taken the title of Sher Khan by the rulers of Bihar, Bengal. He controlled and defeated Humayun at Chausa, and then after he again take the title of Sher Shah after winning or after controlling the areas of Bengal and Bihar. He constructed, he was a very general ruler also. He was helping for the education system, the construction of many roads, just like GT Road, the Grand Trunk Roads, we can say that. GT Road, Grand Trunk Road, you have read in 5th standard also. Sher Shah was also known as the forerunner of Akbar or the forefathers of Akbar. Akbar was having three forerunners like Sher Shah Suri, Humayun, and Babur. He was a great ruler, we can say that Akbar in his Indian history, the Mughal period. His time period started from 1556 to 1605 CE. His real name was Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. He ascended the throne at the age of 14 under the guardianship of Behram Khan, whose guardian was Behram Khan, and he was only of 14 years when he took the throne of Delhi. The position of Mughals was not very strong in India. Hemu Vikramaditya had defeated the Mughals and captured Agra and Delhi, and those regions, these areas were also taken back again by the Akbar. And there was a second battle of Panipat between Akbar and Hemu in 1556, in which the Hemu was defeated by Akbar, and all the areas of Agra and Delhi was again taken by the Mughal ruler Akbar under the guardianship of Behram Khan. Agra and Delhi were taken back, and the capital was set up at Agra. Earlier it was Delhi, and then it was set up at Agra. This made Behram Khan enjoy a position and respect as well as power. But slowly differences developed between the Akbar as well as the Behram Khan, and in 1560 Behram Khan was forced to go on a pilgrimage to Mecca but was assassinated on the way. Here what happened, the Behram Khan was assassinated. Assassinated means killed. Killed on the way towards the Mecca. Under Akbar, the Mughal Empire stretched from Kashmir to the north to Godavari River, we will discuss through map, and the south, and from Afghanistan in the west to Bengal in the east. Akbar was conquered Gondwana, the Karnataka area, Chittor, Rajasthan, Ranthambore, Rajasthan, Bihar, Bengal, Kashmir, Sindh, the Pakistan area, Deccan, Central India, Gujarat. These were the specific areas which was controlled by Akbar as a great leader. Although he was a very general and kind leader also, he set up an Ibadat Khana, worship hall at Fatehpur Sikri, where religious discussions were held every Friday evening. He started Deen-e-Ilahi. This is also very important. Who started Deen-e-Ilahi, the divine faith, in 1582 by blending the good points of all the religions. It was not like that he was following only the Islamism. He was the follower of all the religions and started the divine faith on the different religions like Hinduism, Christianity, Jainism, and other faiths with Islam. Right? We have seen the serial also, Jodha Akbar. There also, his wife, she belongs to Hindu community, and he belongs to Islamism. So he never forced her to follow the Islam. So that's why he was in favor of all the religions and started the system of Deen-e-Ilahi. Deen-e-Ilahi was not a religion but a socio-religious path to bridge the differences among different communities so that no particular region can be specified and it can be advantaged. In 1605, Akbar passed away. He was buried at Sikandara, 6 miles from Agra. Next we have Sikri. Do you know the Fatehpur Sikri was named Fatehpur Sikri, city of victory, after the conquest of Gujarat. Look at the picture of Sikandara Fort where he's having his grave. Sulh Kul, very important. Sulh Kul or universal peace and harmony was an important part of Deen-e-Ilahi. Universal peace. Everybody has a right to live in proper manner. Look at this map, the map of Akbar, Mughal Empire under the Akbar's leadership. The red colored area, it is the boundary of Akbar's empire. This one whole area was controlled by the Akbar. This was region left, this was left, and this was left. Rest whole India was under the control of Akbar. Next we have the next very important, the 9 gems of Akbar's court. Very important, you have to remember these. First was Birbal. He was a statesmanship, or we can say that the advisor. Abdul Rahim Khan, he was son of Behram Khan, and he wrote many poetries, even the dohas and other things in favor of Akbar's reign. Next we have Abul Fazl. He was a great scholar and historian, and he wrote Akbarnama and Aine Akbari. and he was a great scholar of Akbar's 9 gems. Faizi, Abul Fazl and Faizi, they both were brothers. His brother of Abul Fazl, not Abdul Fazl, it is Abul. This one is correct, Abul. He was a great poet and philosopher. He translated the Bhagavad Gita in Persian language so that the other can also understand these. Tansen, you might heard about Tansen. He was a great singer and musician of exceptional talent. He was world famous for his Rag Deepak. Rag Deepak means whenever he started of singing, automatically the other lamps were lightning. They start immediately lightning naturally. Raja Todermal, he was an efficient administrator, or we can say that the clerk of Akbar. Raja Man Singh, he was one of the greatest generals of Akbar court. You have to memorize these names. Hammam, well-known physician, or we can say that a doctor. And Mullah Do Piaja, he was also a great scholar known for his ready wit. All those very important gems of Akbar's court in different parts. If video not visible properly, then you go through over your books. You can just go through over your audible section. So this was all about, and Jahangir, Shah Jahan we will cover up in the next video, and then we will continue with the next topics. So thank you. Read it carefully and watch the video carefully. Thank you.